So in January of this year, I made a video on Voxy, an LOD mod for Minecraft, which is capable of achieving extreme render distance. What it basically does is it generates fake chunks right outside of your actual render distance that take a lot less CPU and GPU power to have rendered in, making it seem like your render distance is a lot higher than it is in actuality. Now Voxy in that regard looks a lot like Distant Horizons, and the video I made was a comparison between them, so if you're interested in that, go check it out. But what I want to have a look at today is a mod that fixes one of the biggest issues with Voxy, and with Distant Horizons too, by the way. It's just not Distant Horizons compatible. But that is the fact that your world has to be loaded in, it has to be generated before those fake chunks will actually appear. I just made a brand new world, and you can see over here clearly that this is where the fake chunks start. From here on out, it is a Voxy doing the work, not my actual render distance. But when we look into this direction, you can see that the fake chunks are basically non-existent. They should be though. That part over there is very much in range of my Voxy render distance. So Voxy should put LODs over there, but it is not. And the reason for that is simple. That part of the world I've just never been. And because I've never been there, Voxy also can't generate anything there. Now of course, there is the mod that rules them all, Chunky, which can completely solve this issue. You can just let Chunky pre-generate your world, and from there on out, every single time you join your world or server using Voxy or Distant Horizons, you will see LODs and have a great time. But what if you don't want to do that? I mean, pre-generating using Chunky does cost time, and it's also something which you basically have to do before you start playing. But what if you want to start playing in the new world right away using Voxy? Well, there is actually another solution, and it is called Voxy WorldGen. Now the developer is making clear literally everywhere that this mod is still a work in progress, and it is. So it can be unstable or slow, but the concept is absolutely awesome. It's a rewrite of the old Voxy WorldGen mod. Apparently there was one before, and that one doesn't exist anymore. This is the new one though. You can see in 2 months it has already gained over 90,000 downloads, which is a lot. And its features are simple. It generates chunks very fast in the background and auto-ingests them with Voxy. In other words, what this mod is supposed to do is just quietly generate chunks for you in the background, ingest them into Voxy, so you will start seeing them. Simple as that. So with my shaders disabled, we look into this direction. You can see there's a clear line here. No Voxy WorldGen here whatsoever. There should be though, but there's not. Now let's install the Voxy WorldGen mod. So there we go, we're back. This time with Voxy WorldGen installed. Let's click on single player and let's join this world. And as you can see, it is actively loading in new chunks. There we go. I don't have Chunky installed. I'm also not exploring the world. I did not increase my render distance. No, this is Voxy WorldGen doing its job. It is generating my terrain. It immediately ingests it into Voxy, making the chunks appear for me through Voxy. So these are all fake chunks, you can see it when I get close. This is Voxy doing what it does best, loading in LODs. But now the requirement of having to pre-generate the world is gone. We can just create a brand new Minecraft world. We can install both Voxy and Voxy WorldGen. And now you don't even have to think about setting up Chunky or using a spare 2 hours before you want to play to already pre-generate your world. Voxy WorldGen will just do the work in the background. And slowly as you go and play, you will start to see more and more of the world. Very cool stuff. Now, obviously, your PC will be working overtime to pre-generate all this terrain. And it is doing it while you're playing. Which means that, yes, this will probably have an impact on your performance. To be fair though, Voxy WorldGen does pre-generate in the background quite slowly, a lot slower than Chunky would, for example, making it not as resource intensive as, for example, setting up Chunky and letting it go. It will take less power, but it will still take power. The world still needs to be generated, and it's still your CPU's job to do that. So you will still feel it in game. That is something to keep in mind. But so far, I feel like it's running really well. And I would say my Minecraft is very playable right now. But of course, it's completely up to your PC specs. If you can handle this, Yes or no? And that's all for today. Short video, but I just wanted to show it off. Link can of course be found in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. Do make sure to double check if you're subbed to the channel. Join my Discord. Thank you so much, channel members. And then I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. See you later. Bye bye.